So as you can tell by the title of this video, I did pass my 50K account with Topstep. This is my third Topstep account that I've ever passed. So in this video, I'm gonna explain to you guys how I did it, what my risk management plan was like, and also make sure you stick around to the end because then I'm gonna explain to you guys what my plan is gonna be for the funded account, what my risk management is gonna be like for that. But before we get into it, if you guys trade order flow or you're interested in trading order flow, make sure you subscribe to my account because I post extremely valuable videos almost every single day on this channel. Also make sure to check out my TikTok and my Instagram where I post daily order flow trading content as well. With all that being said, let's just get right into the video. All right, I did kind of mess up. I probably should have made this video the day I passed because Topstep just completely removed my data from the Topstep dashboard, so I can't even show you guys like my Topstep calendar or any data from that account. All I can show you is that I have an Express account right now. I can't access my past evaluations or anything. There's that. So what I'm gonna have to do is show you my TradeZella. So looking at my TradeZella here, I started this account that I'm talking about right now on the 23rd of September. This data right here from the 2nd of September down to the 19th, this is from a different eval that I definitely blew, and honestly I probably blew another one in this week somewhere I did not upload the data for. So just keep that in mind. Only data that is relevant to this evaluation that I passed is from the 23rd to the 9th of October. So that's what my calendar is set to. You can see right above my head right here what the date is for this calendar. So that is what these statistics you see are relative to. I had a 37% win rate roughly, profit factor of 1.82, average risk to reward of 3.15. So these stats are not bad. They're not the best. On this account, I definitely made some mistakes. There were some trades that I took that I had no business taking. That only happened a few days, but it did set me back a little bit because I was risking a decent amount for an account. So just to give you guys my risk management plan, what I was doing was I was risking a maximum of $400 per trade. So this was a 50K account. I had $2,000 worth of drawdown. I was risking a maximum of $400 per trade. Most of my trades, I was only risking around 200 to 250 bucks. And if you guys have been watching my account, you can just go through every single winning trade that I took on this account in the last like 2 weeks. I put a whole setup of the day video on it. So if you're new here and you're not checking out my YouTube yet, I have all of these trades that you see on my calendar that are winning trades. They're fully broken down on my channel. Yeah, that was my risk management plan, was a maximum of $400 per trade. Really, I don't even think I risked $400 per trade a single time. I think it was most of the time around 200 to 250. So as you can tell, I had a little bit of a rougher start. Not the worst, but there were definitely a couple forced trades in here. There were some good trades in here. I'm not going to go over the trades specifically because I have all these trades, like I said, on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see them individually, go check them out. But yeah, the most important thing I can really tell you guys in this video is that focus on your risk and focus on protecting your profit, especially for evaluations and for the beginning stages of a funded account. So coming into this, I had blown a few evals before this, and I was risking more than $400 per trade. I was actually risking like 600 to 800 even. So really just trying to rush the process. And after I blew a few of those, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to slow down. That's where I came up with, all right, I'm going to risk a maximum of $400 per trade. Like I said to you guys a million times already, it really did not get above 200 too often, as you can tell by my average win to loss. Also, this data is a bit skewed because my entries sometimes were, instead of just entering a single time, I might enter 10 contracts and 10 more micros, or 20 and then 10 more depending on, you know, the sizing and everything. But like for example, some of these trades you're gonna see like 600 and 600. This was really a single trade right here, and that happened multiple times. I think like almost every time it happened. So like this is a single trade right here, but it just shows up as two. So the data is a bit skewed for sure. But overall, my mindset for this evaluation was I'm going to scale out aggressively. So I just want to protect the profit a little bit more than I would normally. So like one thing I've noticed is that every time I've passed evaluations, I am pretty much taking some money off the table, even if it's a little bit before my profit target. Like maybe it's at VWAP or something. It's a good place to scale out a little bit, but I am a lot more protective of the profit, or I'm a lot more risk adverse. That is something I tried to implement, and then you can see that by all of my trades. If you guys go and watch them, I scale out a little bit more aggressively than normal. So that is definitely something I've noticed that you should all be doing on your evals. Yeah, you could definitely just go and hold for full TP on a majority of my winning trades, but there were a few cases where I only got a partial and they came back on me for break even, and basically taking the partial kind of protected me. Maybe it gave me a free trade or a free 2 trades. That just helps you pass these evaluations a little bit quicker. Whereas, you know, if you would have went fully break even and then you wouldn't be up a couple $100, whatever, you get the point. Basically, the bottom line is I'm trying to risk as little as possible, trying to limit my risk and protect my profit even as the trade plays out, which is something that I normally do not do as much. That's one way that I treated this account a little bit differently. So yeah, that's pretty much how I passed this account. I should have passed it a lot sooner, if I'm going to be honest. Either way, the account's passed. So what am I going to do moving forward? How am I going to treat this funded account? What's my risk going to look like on the funded account? So let me just hop into Miro real quick. I'm going to show you guys the math behind the risk plan that I plan on using for my funded account. So with $2,000 of drawdown, until I blow this account, on my valuation, I was risking around 400 or a maximum of 400 per trade. It gave me roughly 5 trades in a row before I blew this account. So if I lost 5 trades in a row, my account would be below, right? On a funded account, I am not going to give myself only 5 trades because obviously it's a lot more valuable than an evaluation. I want to keep the account. I want to get payouts. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write XFA. So on my XFA account, my plan is to risk a maximum of $200. That is going to give me 10 trades in a row before I lose my account. So I literally have to lose $200 back to back to back to back to back to back to back 10 times before I blow my account. So if you guys are rocket scientists, you can understand that is 10% of risk per trade. That is still a high number, okay? 10% of risk, well, it's not the worst in my opinion. I know that's probably gonna get some controversy, but 10% I think is manageable. You gotta realize this is my maximum. This is the maximum amount of risk. On my evaluation, my maximum was $400, but most of the time I was actually risking around $200. So with my maximum of $200, depending on where I can get my entry relative to where I can invalidate my trade, it's probably going to come out to more around like the 120 to the 150. So this is probably going to be more around what my risk is going to be per trade. And obviously, the lower amount of dollars I can risk on a trade, the more amount of trades I can have before I blow my account in a row. So if I'm risking like, let's say $100 to $150, that's obviously going to boost my number of trades before I blow the account. Like if I was consistent with that, I would basically have around 13 trades before it was blown. So really, I'm trying to give myself around 10 to 15 trades in a row before I blow my account. So essentially a little bit less than 10% per trade is what I'm going for on the funded account. So yeah, people are gonna say 10% is definitely still a higher number, but you have to realize this is a funded account and we only have $2,000 worth of risk. If this account was worth $100,000, no, I'm not gonna risk 10% per trade. That would be irresponsible. This account is not worth that much. So in order for me to make money, I gotta risk some money. It's not gonna be a very significant amount if I'm only risking your typical 2 to 3% per trade. So yeah, some people are gonna say 10% is a lot, but on a funded account, that's, you know, 50K funded account, it's really not that bad. I'm going for maximum risk of $200 per trade. I will do a maximum risk of $200 per trade until I get past $2,400 worth of profit. That will give me roughly 10 to 15 trades in a row before I blow my account. So statistically speaking, I have a low probability of blowing my account as long as I stick to my rules and as long as I stick to my risk parameters. You guys let me know in the comments what you do for your funded account. This is what I'm doing. I'm going for consistency. I'm going for base hits, and that's just my plan. But yeah, if you guys need prop firm discounts, by the way, check out the description. I have all the top prop firms if you guys need them. Make sure you choose the one that works best for you. It's code OFM on most of them, but some of them are not. So go check out the links in the description if you need a prop firm account. Yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.